The basic fundamentals of losing weight is just diet and exercise. This is true, but as they say, the devil is in the details. It is these details that tend to make people make mistakes, give up, and not get great results on their weight loss journey. When you watch this video to the end, you will have more information to help you make your weight loss journey significantly more successful, and you'll avoid a lot of the lack of knowledge that holds a lot of people back when they are trying to lose weight. My name is Kola, I am a certified personal trainer, and you are watching Koboko Fitness. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now because I'm going to be doing some amazing videos and I don't want you to miss any of them. For my amazing Cocoa Puffs watching this, listen, you are spicy. You're not for everybody, but you're for me. I like it. Let's get into the video. Not that long ago, I personally wanted to lose 30 pounds, and there were so many things going on in my life at the same time. But something happened to me during that period that was very significant. And I had some family come over. We're supposed to take a family photo. It was supposed to be something very special, very fancy. We're all supposed to wear our nicest clothes. I went up to my closet to get something to wear, and nothing fit. Not even the jeans. All my jeans were too tight, all my tops wouldn't button up. It was the worst feeling because I'm not even a person that enjoys taking photos in the first place. And I remember I just burst into tears in the closet. I just didn't feel great to be standing there and not able to wear anything I liked. I ended up just wearing an old shirt that somebody gave me that I didn't really think was right for the photo, but it was the only thing that would fit. So I put it on and I wiped the tears off of my face. I went downstairs, I put my happy face on like everything was okay, and nobody really knew how sad I was. I'm sharing that just to say that I understand that this can be a bit of an emotional roller coaster. And so this video is really going to help you feel less alone and give you a lot of the information that you need to be successful on your weight loss journey. And the first thing that a lot of people don't talk about when they talk about losing weight is the simple fact that your relationships are going to be tested. If you're living at home with your family, your relationship with your parents or your siblings will be tested. Because if you live in a home where unhealthy food is always being cooked, it's always available in the pantry, and then you choose to not eat those foods anymore, it's going to cause a lot of tension, a lot of friction, a lot of judgment that is extremely difficult to deal with. So this is something that is just not talked about. I have a friend that's actually going through this right now, and they've basically given up because trying to lose weight is already hard, but it's 10 times harder when you don't have the support of the people in your environment. And it's kind of sad, but that's just the situation right now for them. Diet and exercise is very important in weight loss, but the reality of the matter is that your environment is even more important, because without the right environment, everything that you're doing with your diet and exercise is just going to be a million times more difficult. This is one of those things that people just don't talk about when it comes to weight loss. There are some other layers to it, and environment is just one of those extra layers that makes things a little bit tricky for some people, especially if you don't have full control over your home where you live. The next thing that people don't tell you about losing weight is that losing weight actually makes working out way more fun, easier, and faster. So something that happens is when a lot of people start my workouts, they can't really do the full 30 minutes. But eventually, as they start to progress, they're able to do the whole 30 minutes. And sometimes they're able to do things even faster. One of my favorite people that we just featured on Koboko Fitness is Johanna. And one of the results she got out of doing Koboko Fitness workouts is that now she can do a 30-second blank. This is something that is huge to me because I know how much people hate blanks. And these are the types of progressions that are totally possible when you start to lose weight. In fact, another result that Johanna got out of doing Koboko Fitness workouts is that she lost 7 pounds in about a month and got a lot leaner and fitter. So if you haven't done so already, visit KobokoFitness.com and start your 10-day free trial of my premium programs. Honestly, if you're enjoying the short workouts I've been posting on YouTube, you will love the premium workouts and the premium programs and my 30-minute workout videos that I have on my website, KobokoFitness.com. And if you thought that the workouts here on YouTube are fun, you're going to have so much more fun the more you stay consistent and the more you progress towards your goal. Something else about losing weight that people don't say is that weight gain is part of the process of weight loss. It is to be expected. So don't get distraught, don't get discouraged. If you're that kind of person that you like to check your weight regularly, or you're very on top of things with tracking your progress, if you notice that there are some times where you're more bloated or you gain a little bit of weight, it's normal. Let's talk about some of the reasons why some people gain weight while trying to lose weight. Some of it is just the menstrual cycle. During that time of the month, some of us have water water weight, which makes our weight on the scale go up. Some of us eat more during that period, so we actually do gain some weight, and that's okay. It's part of the process. That weight gain that happens during a weight loss journey is not permanent. Another reason why sometimes we gain weight during a weight loss journey is the holidays. When the holidays come around, it's very difficult to stick with a healthy lifestyle. Sometimes we gain weight during a weight loss journey because we make mistakes, we slip up, we go back into old habits. It's part of the journey. So if you haven't had anybody tell you that weight gain is part of the process of weight loss, I just told you. It's part of the process. The key is to not stay stuck, to not go all the way back to old habits, and to continue to do the right things, which is trying to have the best environment, trying your best with your diet, trying your best with your workouts until you get to your goal and then maintain the result. Another mistake that nobody will tell you about losing weight is that there are certain red flags you should be looking for on nutrition labels. If you've been watching Kaboko Fitness videos, you already know that I am always talking about watching out for sugar. Sugar is in everything in the most unexpected places. I'm not saying don't ever eat sugar. I'm just saying be educated about when you're eating sugar. For example, sugar is not something to be consumed recklessly, the same way you're not going to be consuming tobacco recklessly or drinking gallons of oil recklessly or intentionally eating cholesterol recklessly. These are things that if you want to consume them, you can. You just have to do them in an educated way. I'll tell you some of the red flags to look for on your labels. Of course, you already know to look out for sugar on your nutrition labels and to make good choices there. Not saying don't ever eat sugar ever. Just make good choices. The amount of sugar recommended for women to have per day in the US is 25 grams of added sugar per day or less. Another red flag to look for is when you see fat-free on something. That is a red flag. Usually when something is fat-free, they compensate for the lack of fat by adding lots of sugar to the product. So look out for that. Something else to look for is the word organic. But something that I've noticed is that with a lot of processed foods, they will put the organic label on the food because they know that people think that organic means healthy. Organic doesn't mean healthy. Organic just means that the product has passed the standards to be labeled as organic. There are some organic foods that are very unhealthy and not supportive of your weight loss journey. So don't just outsource that part of your responsibility, and don't think that these food manufacturers have your best interest at heart. Unfortunately, they have their profit margins as their main priority. So it's your responsibility as a consumer to look at your labels. Another thing to look for as a red flag on labels is when you see the word energy. Energy bars, energy drinks, anything that says energy, look at the label, especially if you're trying to do a keto diet to lose weight. When you see energy on a product, it's probably going to be high in carbs, high in sugar, and that's something to look for. There are many more red flags to look for on your labels. Maybe I'll do a whole different video about red flags to look for on your nutrition labels or your food packaging, that kind of stuff. But for now, let's move on. Something else that nobody will tell you about losing weight or about weight loss in general is that emotions that we would normally classify as bad are part of the process. I personally don't think any emotion is bad. I think that there are some emotions that are preferable to others, but I don't think that bad is an adjective that accurately describes any emotion at all. So things like crying, like I was crying when I couldn't fit into my clothes in my closet to take that photo, as I told you earlier on in this video. It was part of my journey. It was part of my process. When you get on the scale and the number has gone up, even though you've been working hard the whole week, that feeling of frustration is part of the process. The feeling of anger when you see your partner not making an effort, but they're losing weight faster than you, it's part of the process. The feeling of shame when somebody hasn't seen you in a long time and they're visibly shocked by the weight that you have gained, even though they don't know what you've been through. They don't understand your struggle, but they're judging you. That feeling of embarrassment and shame. All these emotions that we classify as bad emotions, they're part of the process. You will feel some of these emotions during your journey. A lot of people start a weight loss journey expecting it to be smooth and completely free of problems. There's a solution to this. When you are feeling those bad emotions, remember my words. It is part of the process. Just keep remembering those words. It is part of the process. That is not the time to go and seek comfort in food. That is the time to go to the mirror, look at yourself and say, you're doing it right. So instead of eating chips to feel better when you're frustrated that your weight loss journey is not going well, go to the mirror, look at yourself and tell yourself, this is part of my process. I am doing it right. That's the first thing you need to do. The second thing you have to do is to have a plan in place to deal with these emotions. A lot of us have something that psychologists call a habit loop. If you haven't seen my video on how to lose weight faster, you should definitely check out that video because I talk about this in more detail. But basically, a habit loop that a lot of us have is when we feel this negative emotions, we eat ice cream, chocolate, candy, bowls and bowls of pasta, mac and cheese. We go to those foods because they make us feel better. In order to come out of that loop, that cycle of feeling bad and then eating foods that don't support our goals, the best thing we can do is to have a plan in place because those emotions, they're gonna come. So we need to be ready with a plan of what to do when the emotions hit us. That was whenever we're feeling poorly. I just gave one example. Instead of going for the food, the comfort food, go to a mirror and tell yourself that this is part of the process. Another thing that you can do is go outside, take a walk, get some fresh air. Another thing you can do is to have your safe snacks. So personally for me, I love popcorn and I eat popcorn that actually has some sugar in it. I'm aware of this and this is something that sometimes I will eat when I'm feeling poorly. So it's not that you can never use snacks to feel better. Just make sure you have planned it ahead of time and you're being strategic about it. Another thing that I sometimes like is chocolate. I love to eat dark chocolate if I'm feeling poorly. Again, I don't eat just any chocolate. I have a specific type that I like, which I shared in my previous video. Something I said earlier on in the video is that weight gain is a part of the process of weight loss. So what can we do to combat this and overcome this so we can get to where we're trying to go with our weight loss goals? Because trust me, there's nothing more frustrating than passing up so many of your favorite desserts, thinking that you're on track, and then checking your weight at the end of the week and you see that you just gained 4 pounds. If you choose to check your weight, I definitely recommend checking your weight with a scale that's linked to your phone via Bluetooth so that you have a history of your weight over time. It's a bad idea to look at your weight day to day and use that to judge your progress. It's much better to judge your progress over a longer amount of time. So if you're gaining 3 pounds here and there during the week, but you're losing weight over the course of the month, then you're doing just fine. And if you have this data on your phone, you can just open whatever app you're using to track your weight and you will see your progress over a longer period of time. The other thing I talked about in this video that I want to give a solution to is the environment issue. When family is not supportive, when your mom keeps making unhealthy food even though she knows that you're trying to be healthier, all that kind of stuff. Listen, some people will tell you, cut them off. If they don't support your fitness and healthy lifestyle, you need to cut those friends off. Those are bad friends for you. But it's not that simple because the person that's not supportive of your weight loss journey might be the shoulder you cry on when your spouse or your significant other is frustrating. So it's not really realistic to cut people off all the time just because they don't support one particular goal you're working on, because maybe you don't support all their goals too. What can we do? It really depends on your situation. So if your environment is your family and you really have no control over your space, your time, and your food, the only thing really you can do at that point is to try to communicate with them. And if that's something that hasn't worked, where they kind of laugh or they don't want to make a change, or you're not the one buying the groceries, so how dare you have an opinion, if it's that kind of situation, the only thing you can do at that point is to just enjoy the experience of being in that environment. And I know that sounds so crazy, but the thing is, when you finally escape, then you can have the opportunity to eat the things you actually want to eat. So while you're there, enjoy it. Just enjoy it, but educate yourself. For example, my parents did a fantastic job of making sure that we ate fruit. So eating fruit was a fun part of my childhood. It's one of the best memories I have from my childhood. But they also did a lot of things wrong when it comes to food. So it was my responsibility to learn to do better than my parents. So right now, relax, enjoy the cake, enjoy the pizza, but educate yourself so that when you have the opportunity to make your own choices, you can do better. If it's friends and you don't want to cut off those friends, you have to take their jealousy, their lack of support, their making fun of you. You have to take it as your opportunity to learn empathy. Empathy is the ability and skill to be able to understand how somebody else feels, which sounds crazy because when you're expecting your friends to support your weight loss journey, you're expecting them to understand how you feel. When they're not being supportive, your feelings are hurt by that. In order to survive your weight loss journey and maintain your friendship, you have to practice the thing that you want your friend to do for you. You want your friend to have empathy for you, but they are failing, which means now you have to have empathy for them to understand how they are feeling. And yes, I know it's not fair. Here you are having to change your eating habits, change your workout habits, and now you have to be empathetic. It's the only way. You have to understand how your friend feels. Your friend probably has failed in their weight loss journey, and seeing you succeed might be causing them to question themselves. Seeing you do it makes them feel insecure. Understanding how that person feels is going to help you not have your feelings hurt when they don't support you. It's hard, but it can be done. Let them just see you glowing. Let them just see you transform. Let them just see you get all the attention when you go out together. When they see you elevating and they see that they can't stop you, they too will elevate, and all of y'all are going to be shining together. And I'm here for this. I am here for seeing friends thrive and succeed together. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Visit KobokoFitness.com and start your 10-day free trial today. That's actually going through this of the people in your environment. And do I have lip gloss on my teeth again?